رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة لساني ليفقهوا قولي. So what we're gonna talk about today, um, what do I want to talk about? I have a lot to talk about. What's the most important thing? The most important thing is, um, the lack of Islam in America amongst Muslim immigrants. So, that's kind of the most important thing that I want to talk about. Uh, so basically, what we have is we have Sharif E smoking a cig. Why do I do this? People wonder, why does Sharif do this? Like, Muslims shouldn't do this. Then again, it's that I haven't really lived much of a Muslim life here in America, except that to be hated by other Muslims just for practicing Islam. And the people I practice Islam with, they were hating me racistly. So I had like a hellbound life. It's a hellbound life. And I only figured out late in life that most of the Muslim immigrants who came to unbelieving nations like the United States, one of two things is true. They either don't get along with their family, they don't like their family, or they don't like the religion. So people who migrate fall into the category of narcissists and psychopaths, which is against Islam. Like, those kind of people will never be Muslim. So we have to look at, like, a lot of the immigrant Muslims who came to America are of this type. Because, as I've said before, America attempts to attack the best and the brightest. But what they really do is attract the most narcissistic and most psychopathic. That's who always wants to come here for their status and for their position. So when we look at Muslims in America, we have to think a lot of these are psychopathic and narcissists. They came here to get away from our religion and our way. They didn't like religion. So America supports this effort a lot, in that in America it's hard for families to live next to each other. You always have to live far away or in a different state. So that's bad. That separates families. The family gets taken apart. They fall apart. They don't see each other much anymore. Whatever culture they had when they came to America is going to be gone. They're going to have to absorb American culture, because that's who they're going to be with. Us Muslims in America are less than 1% of the nation, of the people. Less than 1%. And we're multiple different tribes that are all tribal. Tribal, and feeling that, like, he's Indian or Pakistani, he doesn't trust me because I'm Arab. No matter what. Like, he thinks I'm just using the Arabic clause, the Arab clause. The Arab clause is like, an Arab who's involved in dawah is automatically really special. Like, he's so important to you. You gotta take care of him. You gotta help him get married. You gotta help him with his life. You gotta take care of him. All this. So then what happens is they just get mad at me. They just start being racist towards me. Like, you're not that special. You're not that kind of Arab person. You didn't do those kind of things. You're a piece of crap. You probably this, you probably that. And it's like all these rumors. The same kind of rumors that the rest of the Muslims do. So I'm like, okay, here's the Dawah people, here's the rest of the Muslims. What's the difference? I don't see much difference. But, each of the people in the group see a big difference. So if you're in the non-religious people, you see a problem with the religious people. And if you're a religious person, you see a problem with the non-religious people. You just don't want to marry that person. You don't want that life to spread on you. So that's the problem with real Muslim immigrants like myself, who are actually Muslim, who actually practice Islam, we have a lot of problems trying to get married. In the sense that a lot of people spread a lot of rumors about us, hate on us because we're considered like overachievers. We're considered like real people and stuff like that. And so, what people will do, people who are jealous or their mom will say, "Why don't you be more like Sharif? He's good. He's good in school. He's good in this. He's good in that. Why don't you be more like him?" So then, what he'll say is, Sharif, he's a crackhead. He has gangster friends. He's in a gang. He does mess too, and like all kinds of stuff that he'll make up. He'll just make up stuff. So this is what happens when you're super successful. So like, I could say they didn't want to marry me because I'm religious, or I could say they didn't want to marry me because my friends were jealous of my success and they kept spreading rumors about me, false rumors. Like I'm talking about the regular do nothing Muslims and the Dawa Muslims all spread rumors, racist, nasty rumors about me, like shitting on me for a long time. So I told them I don't hang out with you guys anymore. You guys are racist. I've suffered too much, and I don't want that anymore. I don't want the suffering. I don't want I don't want your head leader guy, not the gay one. I'm talking about the other one. I don't want that Satan in training. He's a Satan in training. The reason how I know he's their leader is a Satan in training is because he never talks to me except to say, "What are you doing? That's a sin. That's a sin. Da, 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 da. I'm better than you, Sharif. I'm a better Muslim than you." That's all he said. That's all he's ever said to me in all of my life of knowing him. Like, I try to be his friend. I try to be cool with him. I try to talk to him. I try to get to know what what's going on, what I can do to help, whatever, like just regular friendship stuff. And he doesn't think of it that way. He just thinks Sharif is a piece of shit Arab guy. So he thinks racistly. So he's his name is Carlos, and then he's Zubair. So he was born Mexican, and it's so funny that Allah made me work with his dad, whom he has never met. So his dad has a lot of kids just like him, look just like him, even though his dad doesn't look like that. And I figured out that was his dad. And like if we had a good regular friendship, instead of him being always trying to put me down in every situation like a devil, I could have said, "Hey, Zubair, I met your dad. I know where your dad is." But I didn't do that. I didn't do that because if you tell that to a racist, what he's gonna do is gonna think you're just fucking with him. You're just messing with him. You're just playing games. How could you have met my dad? Who the hell do you think you are? I don't know. I did meet him though. I know your dad, and honestly, he's an asshole just like you. Big jerk asshole. And he's always chasing women. He's always chasing women at work, even though he's already married. He's always trying to like cheat on his wife. Just like you, Zubair. How many times have you been married and divorced? In like a few years? You're just like your dad. Exactly like your dad. And out of all people, nobody has ever met your dad except me. Of all people. It's like Allah just wanted to punish you. It's like, I wish I could see my dad. I wish I knew where he was. I wish I knew who he was. And then Sharif knows who he is. The guy you kept being a Satan upon for all these years, Allah has revealed to him who your dad is. And Sharif will not talk to you because you've been a devil-minded person for a long time. Chasing after power, chasing after authority, chasing after respect, chasing after demonizing the people who are better than you, like myself. So as the Emir of all living Muslims right now, no Muslim can compare with what I do. No Muslim can try to talk down upon me. They have to just accept what I say. They just have to accept it. It's based on logic. It's based on everything. But like people who I've been with who have done a lot of racism towards me, like in other words, they just don't want to accept what I say or do because I'm not their race. Like whatever I say or do, they always demonize it. Like I'm like the rumor case. And I just gave up on that. I just got tired of that. You know, because these are all these people I'm with, they all didn't have fathers. I had a father. I grew up with a good father. But all these kids in Dawa, they didn't have fathers. And I figured out that guys without fathers only get along well with other guys who didn't have fathers. Because if you only have a mother, guys who only have mothers, they have real bitchy actions. And then when you question them, why are you doing this bitchy action? Why are you telling me that you're going to do something and then you don't do it? Why are you making me promises and then you break the promise? And basically he'll be like, I was taught life by a mother. I didn't have a dad. So I figured out that people who have dads don't really get along well with people who don't have dads. And that's why when America demonizes the concept of a dad and concept of marriage, concept of family and all this stuff, they don't understand the damage they're doing. They're unbelievers. They're not smart. So the gist of it is what? What is dawah? What is dawah in Islam? Dawah in Islam is what I do with my family and all my friends all the time. That's dawah. Dawah is just, hey, don't do that. That's not good. That hurts your body. That hurts your mind. That hurts your soul. That hurts your lungs, your kidneys, your whatever. Don't smoke cigarettes because it hurts your body. Don't do this because it hurts your mind. You know, like. That's what friendships are for. Like, he's supposed to be support and help, especially a group of people that didn't have dads. They really want friends. They really want a group and support. So for them to reject me openly just because I'm not their race is really like more hurtful because they don't have dads. People who don't have dads will take anybody as a friend. It's well known that if you grow up without dads, you're very likely to join a gang or go to jail or end up dead or something like that. Your future is really bad without a dad. That's why America demonizing the concept of dad, especially Hollywood and the media and everybody, demonizing the concept of marriage and dad and all this. It's hellbound shit. It makes your people really, really bad. Really, really bad. So bad that the universe itself thinks about annihilating all of you because you don't respect marriage. So the universe itself has marriage. There's a lot of life in the universe. I tell people this all the time. Our prophet told us how much life he saw when he went on Mi'raj and he traveled through the universe. He said there isn't even this much space, like a gap. There isn't even a gap without life in the universe. There's sound everywhere. You can hear him talking. You can associate with them. And then everybody who's flown for NASA, they tell them about this. They tell them, watch out for the space demons and the space aliens that come visit you in your craft. Don't go crazy. Don't lose your mind. And also, a lot of pilots have had demons talk to them, make them go crazy and lose their job. So there are demons. Those are real. Those aren't just in people's head. Those are actually real. But they just tell them that they're in your head. You don't have any gravity, so your brain ain't working right. They just make up stuff. And then NASA people who fly, they'll tell you there's actually a whole alien civilization on the dark side of the moon. They got buildings, they got crap, they got everything. They built everything. And it's all built like ancient Egyptian style. It looks ancient Egyptian. So whoever built the pyramids and whoever built the ancient Egyptian stuff, they went to the planets. They had anti-gravity cities, of course. So they had anti-gravity cities above the pyramids. And I'm the first person to tell the world this. And that the pyramids were just energy generators, and that energy was used for powering the anti-gravity cities, which floated right above the pyramids. And this is in the ancient Egyptian text, which was found 100 years ago and only read recently. And it was written by government officials, government engineers, government officials. And it was written in the government language. So that's how they knew it. They knew that it was a government official and the language was government. This is somebody who works for Pharaoh, works for the king of Egypt. And he's telling them there was anti-gravity cities floating above the pyramids. And there's an anti-gravity city underneath the Sphinx. And whoever knows this and whoever figures out how to use it to actually float this anti-gravity city under the Sphinx that they built, whoever does that is actually the smartest of all humanity, they said. And I was the first person to ever do that. I was the first person to say, clearly, pyramids were for energy, generating energy. Egypt was lit. The night was like the day. Like all the stuff they say about Atlantis was true about Egypt. Atlantis taught Egypt. A lot of people don't know that. But then Atlantis was destroyed. So they had a lot of stuff. And when Moses ran away from Egypt, he had to steal the Ark of the Covenant from the pyramid. Because the Ark of the Covenant was the power generation source for the pyramids and all the lights in Egypt. The night lights. So they had a night that was like day. You couldn't hide in that night. So Pharaoh had to steal the Ark of the Covenant, which is El Tabut. Fractal gear field theory inventions. So that the lights would go out. And also, the Ark of the Covenant always goes with the prophets. Keep that in mind. Islam teaches us that. It always comes to the prophets and goes with the prophets. They hold it. They protect it. Just the fact that I brought it puts me in the same chairs as those prophets when we die. Because otherwise, why would Tabut come to me? Who am I? Who am I to get a Tabut? I haven't done anything. I haven't proved great. But I have to Allah. Allah has found me to be great. Greater than any Muslim alive. Because this thing which would comes to the best of you. It makes me automatically all you guys as leaders. Like whenever you have a question about something and you want to know what to do, you ask me. And then you have to follow me. Because I have special magical powers. Like if you disobey me, the punishment comes on you right away. Right away. Until you start understanding this guy is our leader. We have to listen to him. And that's the problem that Tabut Dawa people have. Is that the whole time the leader of all the Muslims is hanging out with them for 4 decades, all they got is bad things to say about me. It's all untrue. None of it's true. It's just rumors. People want to be the best. They don't want you to be the best. They don't want you to look better than them. So if you appear better than everybody starts talking crap about you. Like, he's not really that good. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. You shouldn't even marry him. You shouldn't give him a wife to marry. You shouldn't do this. And it's just all negative stuff. This is why, and this is what I've experienced. This is what I've seen. This is why I say that people shouldn't involve themselves with dawah. Tabligh dawah. You shouldn't involve yourself. I mean, it's really an Indo-Pak effort. It's really Indo-Pak pride too. They tell you in Tabligh you have to go do 4 months in India in the madrasa, and I'm like, well, I already did 4 months in Egypt at Al-Azhar. I don't think I'm gonna get something good out of there. I don't think I'm gonna learn anything new. I don't think people are gonna really like me. And I think they're going to be racist to me just like the brothers I already know. And so I'm just going to pass on that. You know, like, what is the racism I've felt is like living your whole life alone until you're 50. That's what it is. Alone in the sense that you have no people. All your people really don't like you because they're not your race. If they're blacks, they just use you for what you can do for them. But they don't think about what they can do for you. Because you're not their race. Oh, if you had somebody to marry, you wouldn't bring her to me because I'm black. That's what they think. They think that you're racist, so they be racist to you. But I've never done anything racist to anybody. I've never been racist. All my friends growing up were black. Even my best friend was Isaac Combs. He still is. My best friend is Isaac Combs, who is a black man. And we were friends since we were little kids. So, I have none of that. But it's shocking to see these people who are mostly bastards. Mostly, they don't have their dads in their life. To see them act like bastard dads. To me. Like, if I had to describe the way they treated me, it's how I would expect a bastard dad to treat me. Like, he doesn't really want to see me. He doesn't really want to know me. He has a bad opinion of me. He's negative towards me. He might even be racist towards me. So, like, what I've experienced in Tabligh is like what you would experience from a bad dad. So, I feel real sorry for so many bastard children connecting to it. Because they had no dad, they had no family, they had no connections. So they try to like build these connections through this. And then what happens is racism infects them. So they get racism from the Indo-Pacs. And then the black convert Muslims and the white convert Muslims, they're all like dividing. Like the whites are hanging out with the whites, the blacks are hanging out with the blacks, Mexicans are hanging out with the Mexicans, like of all the Muslim converts. There's division amongst the races. And I experience it more heavily than most people because I'm an awkward person in that I'm the only Arab amongst them. And they really want Arabs. They really want Arabs. Because Arabs know Arabic, they know the language of Islam, and they know the language of the Quran. And also they're able to better practice it and better explain it. Because they understand it better. So that if you want to teach people about Islam, you have to use the Arabs to succeed. They're told this in Dawah, in Jamaat, by their leaders. And then the leaders said that they would last 100 years before they would be totally corrupt. So we're past the 100-year level. We just passed it. So, like, I'm saying that we're at that 100-year corruptness point. And when I say corruptness, it's that, what's the word they used to use? They use it in in England, where guys train girls to be their spouses or to use them in prostitution. There's a word for it. I can't remember the name for it. But that's kind of what like immigrants who come to America do with women who. Like Muslim immigrants who come to America and other immigrants, not just Muslim immigrants, but they try to attach to an American woman so that they can have that American life. And it doesn't matter to them if they cross my opportunities because I'm not Indo-Pac. Like, oh, Sharif has been waiting 40 years and he should marry this girl because he's been waiting a long time. They don't think that. Nope. What they think is, this brother, that brother, he needs to get married so he can stay in America and he can stay in college and do whatever he wants. So they'll say, just marry that girl to Muhammad Shikhdar over here. You know, or whoever. Like, it doesn't matter that I've been with them a long time. And it doesn't matter that, like, in Islam, marriage comes through the people that you know. It doesn't matter to them because, again, they're racist. They could never think about this. It's like thinking about narcissists and psychopaths. Why do they think the way they think, or why do they do what they do? It's because they think a certain way that makes them that way. They think that they're God. They think that they are like God. You should treat them like God. And they live their life like this. And for you to know that they're narcissists is the end of that relationship. It's the end of any niceness from them. They won't be nice to you. Like, that's the worst thing for a narcissist, is to be known as a narcissist. That causes what's called mortification. Mortification is a really bad state. Like, when their narcissism is not fulfilled, they always go into mortification. Mortification is a really bad state. You don't want to be around a narcissist when he's mortified. He will mess you up. He or she. So I know a lot about narcissists because I was married to a narcissist. And I knew she was a narcissist when I married her. I kept thinking maybe a person could stop being narcissist. Or also, I was like, maybe I can learn about narcissism. And I just knew there was a problem. And I wanted to talk about the court, how they took my son. Even though I was the best father, I was the primary mother figure. And everyone said, they took my son when he was 4 years old. Everybody said that my 4-year-old son, the doctor told me, he said, your 4-year-old son is beyond any other human being. There's no 4-year-old who knows what your son knows. And I've been a doctor 40 years, he says. How did he know all this? How did he know all this? I said, I dedicate my life to his knowledge, to his progress. His mom wanted to work and wanted me to work and send him to daycare. I said, no. Well, if you want to work, then you go work. I'll stay here and be the parent. I'll stay here and take care of him. But why? Because he needs help. All the children in today need help because they're going to get addicted to internet, to media, and all this stuff. And they don't really fully know that what they see is not real. The murder, the killing, the violence, it's not real. And this may be really close to why kids are killing kids in schools. Because they see an unreality, but they don't know it's not real. They think it's real. If you think that people do this to each other, they fight and they kill and they do this and they get angry and what you see in the movies, and you start believing that happens in real life, there's a problem there. You might be weak and you might not have power and you might think I have to kill everybody before they kill me. It's just common sense when you base it on Hollywood. This is why our prophet told us all the problems of the modern future world will come from a flat screen like a rug that generates images. Your flat screen TV. And then he said every Muslim who puts their eyes on it, it will drag them to hell. Because in the book Truth in Art, it says in there that on the first page, not even part of the book, when the first ever page, he says in there, he says every work of art is an artist's attempt to smuggle his belief of reality into your mind. And it's funny that the artist said that, because the Quran said that. The Quran said that every work of art is to debate what Allah has brought. It says so in the Quran. So you got these Muslims who will try to invite me, these people who will like put me down and talk stuff about me. They will invite me to go with them to movies, and they got beards and turbans and stuff. I'm like, there's no way I'm going with a group of bearded turban guys to an American movie theater. You guys are something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you that you even like to watch movies. As Muslims, we're not supposed to watch that. I didn't watch it. I don't have a TV in my house. That's why none of you guys come to my house, because people really need TV. They need it. They come to your house and you don't have a TV. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to have personalities. They're totally defective from this social media and this modern world. They're defective. They need the TV. Like people, if you take the TV out of your house, just take it out of your house for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and watch everybody stop coming to your house. They will come. They will come when you don't have the TV. And they'll notice that your house sucks ass. They don't know why. They don't know why. It's because they're addicted to TV. Their brain is dysfunctional. According to modern psychology, if you watch TV 4 hours a day, you have a dysfunction in your brain. You're mentally dysfunctional. And so they have that. So they can't talk. Like, I feel like I don't get along with most people because most of them are mentally dysfunctional. They're not like the people used to be 20 years ago. Like, let's say I'm 50 years old. I'm from the past. I remember when we used to, as kids, we would hang out in the alleys and in the yard, and there would be people everywhere outside. It's always safe because people can see you. But you don't see that now. Nobody comes out. There are no kids outside. People are scared of each other. They're scared of their kids getting kidnapped, getting whatever. All this stuff they see in movies, they think it's going to happen. What if Spider-Man has a fight in front of the house and the kids die? Oh, Spider-Man isn't real, you idiot. That's just fiction. It's not real. But I'm sure there's people that think about stuff like that. They make their life and their kids' life miserable because they fear things that happen in movies will happen in real life. This is a big problem. What if my kids, like now, I don't want to talk to your kids because there's been too many child molesters on the news that got messed up, and I'm afraid that too many of you have thought that I might be one of those people because I'm friendly to your kid likes me, and you tell me like, our kid doesn't like anybody, he likes you so much. What? That's so weird. And now you're scared. You're scared. Why is he so good with kids? Is he a kid manipulator? Is he a problem? So like I heard what was his name? David Burr, that comedian. He said he doesn't want to go to your house if you have kids because everybody thinks he's a child molester. Everybody suspects that because of the movies. What you see in movies, you think is in the world, right? That's why I say that violence in the movies is not in the real world. And I tell my son this: what you see in the movies and what you see in the games is not real. I constantly tell him this. It's just pretend. It's just pretend, and it's just for fun. They just pretend. And when you kill characters with a knife on the game, that's not a real person. I feel this is important stuff that people have to tell their kids. Because if you don't tell your kids this, they could grow up mentally damaged. And they could grow up to kill people in school. Because they could start to think that what happens in the movies is the way the world is. If I thought that, if I was that oblivious, and I thought what happens in the movies is what happens in real life, I would be a criminal, violent. I would just start killing people. It's that simple. If what happens in the movies happens in real life, I'm killing everybody in the school. Because pretty soon, they're going to turn on me, and they're going to want to do to me what I saw in the movies. If I don't kill them now, they will kill me. This is the kind of damage that fiction produces that nobody understands. You get to feel it in the miserable, horrible way. You get to feel it in a miserable, horrible way, except us Muslims who have been taught about it. We avoid it. So most Muslims think I'm a very weird person for not having a TV in my house, not playing TV, and then rejecting their invitations to go see movies. I'm like, I don't want to go see movies. Movies are haram. They're haram. They're a sin. And if you're dawah people, you shouldn't be inviting me to sins. When I go to your house, I don't want to see the 30-year stack of movies that you love and that you watched each one like 100 times. There's something wrong with you. Islamically, there's something wrong with you. And I'm even talking about the Zubair, the big Zubair man. He spent his whole life selling bootleg movies. And I'm like, wait, he's always criticizing me for religious actions. His money that he makes comes from haram. He sells stolen movies. They're not even made movies. They're not even regular movies. They're just stolen from the internet. And he sells them as CDs to everybody. Everybody knows, you want a movie? Call Zubair. I'm like, wait, this is your leader in Dawah in Islam? He's a movie seller? This is troubling. This is very, very troubling. And it's troubling to see big bearded, turban wearing, jalabiyah wearing Muslims all going as a group to a movie. And they invite me. I'm like, no, I'm not going with a group of Taliban looking mugs to go see a movie made by people who don't believe nothing. I'm not going to do that. We're Muslims. We listen to real talk, real words. And we're forbidden from putting our eyes on that TV and on those images. We're forbidden. But I'm the only one who practices that forbiddenness. So therefore, like, everybody has forbid themselves from coming around me. I'm talking about even the Dawah people can't do Islam. They just can't. Like, they're supposed to respect the Arab people more because we're old. We're old Muslims. We have old language, old knowledge, old history, old texts, old translations, old explanations, and we have the Arabic, and any one of us can master it at a young age. Any Arab person can master these things. If I was in the Middle East, I would have mastered that. I'd be a scholar in an Islamic university somewhere for sure. I would be there studying and learning and mastering it all. That's how Arabs are. That's why Arabs have a special status amongst Muslim people, right? Especially Dawa Muslim people, because they're told by their leaders that your Dawa will not succeed if you lose the Arabs. If you don't have the Arabs, you need the Arabs. They're talking about the good Arabs, not just any Arab. But what that does is just make people criticize me, keep pointing at me, and keep spreading rumors, just like the Muslims without any effort do the exact same thing. I'm like, if all these people do all this dawah and all this effort for Islam, and they're just as bad as the people who do nothing, then this whole effort is no good. It's bunk. Like, it's more than bunk, because the people in the effort are worse than the regular Muslims. They're worse in the sense that they're tribal. They're just as tribal. They're more tribal. They become religiously tribal. Like, they start acting like God and judging you and me and becoming tribal about it. And again, like I said, it is a lot of their interest for that Arab to not be the right kind of Arab. He's not the right kind of Arab. He wasn't born in Fajr on Friday like I was. He's not that important. Like, I tell people all the time, I was born at Fajr on Friday, because that makes me automatically special to all living people. That's according to what our Prophet told us. And you can ask doctors. You can ask the medical doctors. They say, it's shocking to us. We don't understand why. But nobody ever is born on Friday in the morning. Ever. And then in Egypt and other places, they say, oh, the people know if you're born on Friday at Fajr, you're automatically important. That's why I grew up, before I could talk, everybody said I would be a scholar of religion. Before I could talk. They said, he's going to be a scholar of religion. The reason why is because he was born at Fajr on Friday. A lot of people who are Muslim don't understand the importance of this. They could have a child born Friday at Fajr, they wouldn't even know, because they don't study their religion. They don't study the knowledge. They lose so much. But when I was born in Egypt, everybody believed I would grow up to be a scholar and a leader in Islam. And I did. That's exactly what happened. I became a scholar, became a leader in Islam. So they were right. And I tell people that now because of the racism I felt. Like, people coming up with bad rumors about me, like negative stuff about me. So I just say, hey, I was born at Fajr on Friday. Go check. I was born November 23rd, 1974 at Fajr. That's a Friday. And everybody believed I would grow up to be a scholar. Because in Egypt, they know this. And the doctors know there's nobody born at this time. We don't know why. There's always 110 babies, 20 babies, all the time. Except Friday at Fajr. None are born. And so they said, this kid is going to be really special. He's a prophecy for all of you guys. So all my family kept saying I would grow up to be a scholar, which they were right. I did grow up to be a scholar. And I did grow up to be important in Islam and do dawah and understand stuff that other people don't understand and then start explaining it. Like, racism amongst American Muslims between each other is the worst thing they could ever possibly do to each other. Like, if a Muslim expresses racism to you, abandon him. Forever. And just tell him, you say racist stuff. You might not really be a Muslim. You might be something else. So I've done that. I've abandoned a lot of friends for expressing racist stuff. I had a friend one time, he said, I hate people, I wish I could kill everybody. I said, what? I said, wow, that's the guy who taught me that everybody who says they like people actually use people. They like people because they take from everyone. They take benefits from everyone. And he used to say that. And then one day he said, I hate everybody, I want to kill everybody. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. You're really showing me a lot. Because you used to say you like everybody. When everybody did what you wanted them to do, and you had constant benefit from them, you liked everyone. But now, when your likes are a little bit at loss, you don't like people anymore. It's got narcissistic thinking. That's what that is. It's narcissistic thinking. Like a narcissist only likes people who praise him, glorify him. So, long story short, if we want to talk about the reason why I smoke, unsatisfied sex drive. Because then I didn't get married, right? Because I was hanging out with a bunch of people who didn't like me because of my race, right? So, unfulfilled sex drive, you have to manage that somehow. So, I take this as a medicine. And also, I learned a lot about American men being unisex, without sex, not having girlfriends, not having sex. And I talked about how that's really dangerous for them. That's really troubling. It is, because most people start having sex in their teens. Imagine me, because I'm involved with this Dawa Jamaat, Tabligh Jamaat. I got people openly telling me racist stuff. Like, I met this girl who's half Arab like me on the internet. And I started talking to her, and then he's like, oh, no, she's from the Jamaat brothers. They're going to get pissed. They're going to hate that. They're going to say this about you and say that about you. I'm like, what? I'm talking to her to get married. I met her just, she wants somebody to get married. I'm just trying to talk because ain't nobody helping me. What is your problem? And she's half Arab like me. So, oh, but you mean because she's half Indian makes them not want me? They want an Indian guy? Is that what you're saying? I don't understand what you're saying. Like, you sound racist. You sound racist to me and racist to them. None of that makes any sense to me at all. Sorry. You don't make any sense, bro. You sound like a hater. She likes me. I like her. We're talking all the time. She's interested. And we're talking about marriage. We're not talking about doing sinful stuff. We're talking about getting married. Why are you criticizing me for? You know, that the thing is, I shouldn't have even met her on the internet. I should have met her through her brother, through her family. I actually knew her brother. I grew up with him. He liked me. He was a friend of mine. He could have said something at that time, but he didn't. He didn't say nothing. You know, he's gonna judge me based on racist ideological opinions about me. So he'll ask this person who doesn't like me because I'm doing much better than him. Which is the story of everybody who don't like me, is because I do too much better than them. And he's going to ask people, and they're going to tell him bad things. Just because they're racist. They don't want Sharif to look good. What has Sharif done bad? They can't even say. They just make up stuff. They say stuff like, he's an Arab. Arab people would never marry us blacks. Arab people would never marry us Native American. All these things. And they just have all these racist opinions about me. And I'm like, none of that's true about me. None of that's true about me at all. I can actually say every one of you brothers have gotten married the day after I prayed for you to get married. And I've seen it with my own eyes. Except your Muhammad Isa. He got the woman the day after I prayed for him. But he rejected her. Because he has homosexual problems. But that's what I mean. Like, if I say I didn't get married, like, and I'm hanging out with all these people, none of them have ever prayed for me. Not only are they racist, They don't even pray for me. Because I'm telling you right now, I pray for you today to get married. And I watch you get married tomorrow. Like, it happens right away. Because the prayers for other people are very strong. Very strong. Prayers for yourself are worthless. Unless you're without sin. Like a prophet. But most people don't qualify under that. So praying for yourself is very weak. It's better to pray for other people. And if I tell you that I'm hanging out with all these people and none of them help me get married, I can't even get married, there ain't even no options to get married, it's because none of them ever prayed for me. I'm telling you right now, every one of them that's married got married because I prayed for them. Every day. Until they got married right away. And then I started realizing that praying for others to get married is what gets them married. just from my own experience. You just pray for them, they'll find the solution. So when I say the Jamaat is a racist group of people, I can also say that none of them have ever prayed for me. Maybe one guy. Because I seen options to get married through him all the time. That's Khalid Al-Amin. Khalid Al-Amin. He's the only person that ever really prayed for me to get married, and that's how I got options to get married through him, because he prayed for me. That's the sad part about Dawah people. Would they understand the power of prayer? And you have all these people around you that need a lot of things. Like, brothers are having problems paying their rent and getting a car. I'll pray for them for God to help them to be able to pay rent, to be able to have a car. And the problem is, then I see that they get the rent, they get the car, they get everything, and the first thing they do is, I don't need Sharif anymore. He's just a piece of shit helper. He just does stuff for me. Now I got my life all together. I don't need him. He has no idea that he has what he has because I prayed for him. I prayed for him to have it. That's the power of prayer. You can make everything happen. Like, I can make the war in Israel against my people end. Oh, Allah, end it. Oh, universe, end it. Even if you have to destroy the enemies. You know, that's the way you talk to the universe. Like, that's how it ends the problems. It just kills. All of you must die. Because you're breaking the laws of physics. You're breaking the laws of nature. You're ruining my universe. You're creating more entropy. You're causing so many problems. I have to get rid of you. I have to get rid of you. You have no idea how much you make my life shitty. You have no idea. You have no idea how your racist mentality spreads throughout the whole universe. And there's so much life in the universe, and they're all absorbing your racism. I'm the universe. I have to fix this. I have to fix it now. These people are a problem. So they want to try to kill all the Muslims over there in Israel. And they keep saying all this stuff, but we're not racist. The Arab Muslims are not racist. And the white people will tell you, they go to white Arab Muslim nations and they get really good treatment. And they get loved. They get liked a lot. So Muslim people don't want to destroy the others. They pray for others to have guidance and to be forgiven and to be accepted into heaven. No, the Muslim people love others. We feel bad that somebody is believing a wrong thing, which is going to hurt him. We feel bad. We don't want to have to enforce that person, because the universe is enough. All we need is one person like me who can talk to the universe, and the universe can hear him, and the universe thinks about what he says, and the universe has a hard time disagreeing with his requests, because his requests are mathematically accurate, because he's the best mathematician there ever was. So the universe is only denying what you ask it because it's mathematically inaccurate. Or it will bring the death of the universe. Or it will bring harm upon the universe. The universe knows. It knows a lot of stuff. It's super smart, but it's not as smart as you think. It's very selfish. So the way God commanded the universe, he said, "Sata'ji ta'atan aw karhan." He told the universe when it was smoke. when it was smoke. He said it was smoke. Modern physics tells us the universe was smoke and not clear. But in the Quran it says when the universe was smoke, Allah spoke to the smoke. And he said, will you come? Will you come obediently? Will you form obediently? Or will you form hatefully? Right? It means will you do it? Or do I have to force you to do it? That's what God's saying. Because if God forces you to do something, you're gonna hate that. You're forced. You can't say no. You're forced. Your free will is taken. And the universe knows this. And the universe has been told that it's gonna die. But it doesn't like to think about it. Because its life is so long. So it sometimes doubts it, sometimes thinks it's never gonna come, or it just kind of like doubts its own death. So I tell the universe, you are gonna die. We know how you're gonna die. I know how you're gonna die. And if you let these humans get too advanced in their evil ways, they're gonna kill you fast. So universe, get to work. Get to work. We know you control every atom in this universe. We know you can kill me right now while I'm talking. This could be my last video I ever made. We know that, universe. But these unbelieving people, they don't know that. They think, oh, we need to get rid of these people. We need to get rid of those people. Yeah, and the more you think that, the more the universe thinks it has to get rid of you. Because those people that you're trying to get rid of now, they have more advanced technology than you. It's not going to be easy like it was before. It's not going to be no cakewalk stuff like it was before. It's going to be a world war. It's going to be a powerful world war, where whole nations and whole peoples are getting annihilated completely. And there is an asteroid coming that's supposed to hit the Earth in 2024, I think. That could be the universe. The universe is like, I got to deal with this Earth. They're tripping. I'm going to send their ass a universe. I'm going to send their ass an asteroid. I'm going to send their ass a fucking planet. I'm going to send them a planet that fucks up their borders, fucks up their shit, and they all fucking get to deal with it. That's the universe. The universe doesn't really care about you as much as it cares about itself. Just remember that. So whoever keeps talking about who they're going to take out, who they're whatever, I'm like, I can have the universe take you out. I'm more powerful than you. You have like 2 or 3 stupid guys that my angels took out of living. Okay? I don't have that. I have 2 angels that are around me all the time. They're here right now watching this video. And each one of those angels is more powerful than your whole entire world. Like, so that's why I wrote and said they would eventually use my family after all their stuff fails. And that's what they did. They used my family. And I wrote that they would use my friends. And I wrote this 9 years ago, and you can check it out at facebook.com/makeallworthless. You can read all the posts. There's a post in there. And keep in mind, Facebook made it so that you could change dates on posts. And that was an attack directly to me. Keep that in mind. Because these dates are really important for patent verification services. Right? Or legal verification services. So they basically took Facebook out of court. Like you can't really, anything you bring out of Facebook in court and you say that's the date right there, they're going to just say, we don't know that's really the date. You could have changed it. That's what they'll say. So Facebook did that. They made it so you could change dates on posts right after I started publishing on their site. So Mark Zuckerberg knows who I am. And he does stuff in Facebook to try to shut me down. Because my science and my knowledge reach too many people. He can't shut me down though. Nobody can shut the internet down. It doesn't matter what you try to do to stop me, to shut me down. I still reach millions and millions of other people that still do it. Like, I told a friend, the Turkish engineers chatted with me on DLive. Because I had live streams on DLive. And a bunch of Turkish engineers basically told me that they read and understood all of fractal gear field theory, pound FGFT. And I didn't believe them because I think you're lying. Nobody has ever read all of it and understood all of it. Nobody. He's like, no. We have tons of physicists in our department, and we have tons of engineers in our department, and we studied all your stuff when we understood all of it. And you've made Turkey the greatest military creator in the world. And you helped us take back Libya. I was like, nobody has ever read everything I wrote and understood it all. I'm like, prove it. Prove that you read it and understood it. Say something really complicated about it that nobody would really understand. And explain it in detail. And he did that. He started posting about the quantum physics stuff and about this and about that. And right away... And he knew Arabic and English and Turkish language. He spoke to me in English really well. And when he wrote down what he knew about it, I said, okay, you do know everything. Nobody has ever said that complicated of anything of what I said. Nobody has understood it that complicated. I accepted it. I said, okay, you do understand everything I wrote. I believe you now. And then, after Turkey took back Libya, I went and checked all the news. And Russia and Germany and all these superpowers were there. And all the people in charge. And keep in mind, the new leader of Libya was a former CIA agent. Makes you wonder. Makes you think. That's the no good leader. That's the Kabut leader. Anyway, when all the nations were asked, how did you lose to Turkey? Turkey's not that powerful, they're not this, they're not that. And Russia and Germany and everybody who was there, they said, these people have new technology that we don't understand. Their drones never break. They never need maintenance. They just fly all the time, attacking all the time. This is strange technology. If you're in the military, you know drones need a lot of maintenance. They're new technology. They're not all the way perfect. They need a lot of maintenance. So what all the nations said about Turkey is their drones don't need maintenance. And they don't break. They just keep running and keep attacking everybody nonstop. And they even said it's almost like they don't power it. Like they even go much farther on a little bit of power. So the Turkish people told me that's all due to fractal gear field theory.